Welcome back, survivors. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Jurassic Park Revolution. Where, as much as I was talking up last week about that sort of being the last episode or such, I'm kind of in need of a space for filler as comments and careful there, feedback slowly come in. Actually, no, I can kind of tap that because it's not exactly right against the microphone anymore. I've figured out a new little setup with my pop filter, etc. But anyway, into Hunt, and let me show you a little bit what I changed. So what I've gone through and done have been a lot of the point values. As you can see here, Penna is now only 5, Perdita is 10, 25, 50, 125, 150. Manceros, I made an oopsie. That should be more than 125. I thought that was supposed to be about 200. But I did some changes there. I did some changes on the dinosaurs, like 5, 20, 50, 75, 125. So there's less of these giant leaps that there were point-wise, and did the same with the weapons. 10, 20, 50, 75, 125. Just, I feel like with a smoother curve, the game would be more enjoyable. So we're going to try to give this a little go. And we'll probably go to Isla Sorez. And I want to see, we've been using a lot of the same weapons, so I want to try some different stuff than we've normally been able to use. So let's actually start with the QBZ. And we do have a number of points, so maybe we'll... Okay, can't quite afford that. See, this might actually be a very nice kind of point distribution we have. Oh, we can even take the rifle. Because, like I say, it just felt like it was such a grind to get the points, but this way, with the levels and the point scales adjusted down a bit, it feels like it's a little more natural going through than it was. But everything's looking in order. We've got this as a little filler episode for Jurassic Park Revolution, so let's head on in and see what's in store, shall we? Off to a brand new hunt. Okay, so we look like we're all loaded in here. Ooh. This is a neat map. Say, I wish I had the points to get here without having to do some point adjustment, but Sorez looks pretty interesting with the forest like that. And thankfully, it's another large map. I have to say, that's my one thing about JPR so far, is that the early maps are too compact and too claustrophobic. Like, you'll have multiple animals enraging you and trying to go after you at the same time. It's kind of not really in the style of a hunting game. It becomes more shooter at that point. I guess sort of like survival shooter. I'd probably liken it to Jurassic Park Trespasser. Although I've never played that. And actually, that's something we could even put on the request list if I can try to figure out a way to get the game and try it out, if you guys want to see it. I know it's supposedly got a few janky and off controls, but hey, we can be open for requests and suggestions if you want to see something like that here on the channel. I figure this will just be a good way... Is it just me, or does Sorez look almost like Australia does from above? Like, I mean, the western coastline, the north... Well, okay, there's not the giant dips in the water there, but I don't know, that looks almost like an Australia map to me. Maybe I'm just a little... My mind don't work too much, because it's split in half trying to keep an eye out for Kentrosaurs, Albertosaurs, basically anything that wants to rip and tear us. But I don't know, it just kind of reminds me a lot of Australia. I can't really go north, so I do have to go south into the island. And then the giant deserts through it may also help sort of remind me of that. Not that I've ever been. If you, though, had Discovery Channel before the 2000s, you probably had your fair share of seeing documentaries or shows about Australia. My god, how that has fallen. Like, a lot of modern television and cable television feels like it's just gone so downhill nowadays. I mean, look at the History Channel. Ancient Aliens. Counting Cars. Like, I'm sorry, but I can understand maybe you want to include some modern stuff, but where's all the actual, history your channel is named after? I think it's because they're trying to appeal to a losing demographic, or they're slipping away on the ratings for a lot of stuff, so they're trying to keep modern, which I don't know if that'll work. It's kind of hard to say what the cable demographic is like now. I think a lot of, well, especially these recent times, people have kind of realized that why should we worry about cable when we can just stream and actually get what we want without these dumb bundles systems that we have to use, so... Oh, actually... I thought I saw, like, a pterosaur frill back here for a moment. But I really do like this map, just from, like, a feel of it. The foliage fits so well. The sandy dunes, like a middle desert area. This is a really nice map. Yeah, it makes me... I'll still see what you guys leave in the feedback, but if the maps continue to increase in quality like this, then we can be in store for some really, really good experiences down the line. And also see what you guys think about how the point systems and everything are. And what you think of that. Okay, just hearing a lot of, like, I guess rustling plants in that. We'll make our way over the east, because it looks like there's a building and some man-made constructs on the island. You can see the structure with the little rectangle and almost the pathway going north there. I just want to... Oh, man, yeah, this is... Yeah, this would be... It's probably the best map so far of Jurassic Park Revolution. Like, Panna, I think, is way too small for, well, actual real hunting. It, again, feels like everything's sort of like in a corridor that's meant to be a shooter more. Perdita, I think that was the second one. That one's not as bad, but it still kind of feels a little cramped and tight. Especially if you ever spawn with the wind blowing inland. Because in that case, you can't really go much of the direction. Okay, no, so east is over this way. But this is what I really wanted to see, is a nice big map with a lot of space and a lot of even variety in the biome itself. We'll see what you guys leave in the feedback from last week's episode, or that's just gone live a little under 2 hours ago. Because it's just, if the point curve is steadier and we can hunt more on a map like this, I'll definitely stick around, because this is gorgeous. And it kind of has that mix of Carnivores feel, but also something a little bit more modern. I think it's because of all the texture work and that in it. Like, a lot of the Carnivores series and games do kind of stick more to the canon style, I think is the most fan consensus, where it's nothing exactly too actually, I wouldn't even say vibrant, but it's more just to fit that painter style of paleo art. Whereas something like this, it does feel closer to more like a modernized dinosaur hunter. There are still some improvements that could have been made in that, but you know what? It's still... Well, actually, the improvements could only be done on, I think, entirely different game engine. I think this is probably the peak of things for what we get using all of the Carnivores mods or Carnivores engines as their base. But yeah, this feels so good. I wish it was easier to get to this point, because this feels like this is where the real start of the mod actually kicks in. Like, you got plenty of foliage and that all around you. Feels like a full, large island and landmass you're on. Oh, it's bloody beautiful! I don't know if the Tyrannosaur is stuck or not. It's not exactly moving. Oh. It did move. I guess the footsteps I was hearing were it running away on us. But yeah, this is... It took a while, but I think we're actually getting to the really good parts of the mod. I admit, this start was pretty rocky. Like, I think the very first series I ever was trying to do with Carnivores was for Jurassic Park Revolution. I think I made a couple of videos way back. One was like a little test to see my first few steps into it and how it felt, and had some issues there. The second one was more of a critique and review that I didn't actually make public, and I think I took off the channel before I did, just because it didn't feel fair to all the work and development that was put into the mod. But it was a very, very rough start compared to a lot of the other mods that I've tried. Like Triassic, that one was a little rough too, but as soon as you got over the first hurdle of the first couple of animals or so in Panoramos, I think you started to really get the smooth swing of things. And then Far North, I think, has been probably the most easily accessible one, just because you have such variety as the points are so easy to start with, and they come in so quickly, too. Oh, some Jurassic Park, so we are very close to... Okay, you know what? I'm going to walk, because there is a bit of a hill here that... No, excuse me. Should be hiding us from the one Tyrannosaur, but... God, this is... very well done here. Okay, the Tyrannosaur I thought was just over here somewhere. Oh, that's a drop. And there, I'm hearing something over here. It might just be Dryosaurs or Homalocephali, though. No, yeah, that's all it is. It's just a few of the ambient animals. But this is very cool. Having played Jurassic Park Genesis, or Operation Genesis, sorry, I don't want to offend any of the real hardcore fans of it. Yeah, this is cool to actually be first-person down right amongst some of the assets, or designed after the assets that are there. Wait a minute, is the... Maybe I wasn't even seeing the Tyrannosaurus, but instead just seeing some of the colors from the building. Oops. Oh, wait a minute, that actually goes along. I think we'll head down and go do a little bit of exploring. Welcome to Jurassic Park. Okay. Oh, this is really cool. Yeah, a lot of the assets are all designed with Operation Genesis stuff in mind. Oh, you accept a lot of stuff here. Traveler's Choice TripAdvisor. And this is really neat to see. Drinks. Oh, the bins. Or the garbage cans. I wonder if we're actually safe from anything on the sides, because there are, like, the fences and that up around. Oh, come on, we can squeeze through here. Yeah, we can. Oh, this would be really cool to have, like, first-person Jurassic Park proper. Like, a lot of people are asking for, like, survival horror, I think. I could definitely see it working. But I think even just more, like, not even need the horror aspect, just it's survival and you might come across a few things, and what you have to do is maybe almost try island hopping or...
Attention. Visitors who feel threatened are advised to seek shelter immediately.
That's kind of cool. I wonder if that's on a repeating loop, or if that's actually something they managed to, like, program in for distance-wise. Oh, man. How is it that... as much as you experience these cool new things every mod, sorry, they just keep on... Uh-oh. Oh, okay, that's spawned back in. I mean, a little bit of stuff popping in and out here. Oh. Oh, those tour vehicles are so familiar from...
Attention. Could visitors attempting to exit the park please refrain from panicking?
God, this is so good. Yeah, this is where I think the mod really should have started, or... like, Penna, Perdita... I think they really just... they can't compare to this. Like, the outside of this area here looks stunning. This is a wonderful addition with the fountain and everything. Oh my goodness. This might be just an exploration video without much hunting in it because of just... again, I'm blown away. It's every new mod that we go to, because of the care, the dedication, and the talent.
pausing for security reasons.
Might be a little late to be announced on that, but probably just on an audio loop. But yeah, every time I go into a mod, something new is really surprising and just really shows and steps up almost what we've seen before. Like we had Mandibles with the work done for the maps there, and then Far North, even just that single map is impressively done. I admit it can feel a little barren for the trophy animals you kind of see on it. We're kind of running into that here as well, but we also, I think, mostly have the wind as a disadvantage too. Oh, you know what? Let's try calling something in. I've been pretty passive this time, so... No reply there. You know what? Let's try for an Albertosaurus. That sounds pretty close, actually. I do gotta be careful. It was... As I was going back and editing, and that one Albertosaurus and Kentrosaur tag team got us, I just saw out of the corner of the screen where it was kind of like rushing us from. I didn't get a good glimpse of where exactly, but I did catch it on replay, so it wasn't exactly a ghost out of nowhere, but it still managed to get me good. But oh my god, this... I may have to start looking at doing a bonus episode, or bonus video or two on some days, because if this is the kind of map quality we're going to see going forward, I think we might keep Jurassic Park Revolution ongoing. Okay, that's bizarre. I know I heard it from this direction, I thought. I guess maybe I should just kind of sat where I was and waited for it to come into us. That was probably my bad. I'll try once more. I think it is somewhere over here still. Either that or I'm very, very bad with the headphones and I'm actually hearing it from the opposite direction. That could be the case too. Just want to make sure. Yeah, that's on the right spot. Don't have the ears mixed up, so the sound is coming in proper. But I really got to admit, this... I was not expecting this. When I first saw the map on the menu, I thought that it was going to be like all the desert was almost water, so that way you wouldn't really have a lot of good hunting ground, but I am very pleasantly surprised. There's something moving. I know there's the Dryosaur over there, but I'm fairly sure... Oh. Is it just you two? I thought we heard the Albertosaurus somewhere around here. I am very confused now as to where this Alberto is. We've been hearing a reply back, I know that for sure. Alright, we'll try once more. Oh, I think I saw it. I saw a shape go down behind the hill there. There it is. I was gonna say, am I the idiot who's just been chasing nothing all this time? But no, we've got a sighting. So we'll see if we can call him in a little closer. Yeah, right up there. But still a bit of... Oh, it's also getting further away. I know, we'll crouch and kind of sink down into the water here. And be ready with this, because if there's anything the game has taught us so far, dinos generally tend to find you before you find them. And another issue with the iron sights, it's a big circle, but you didn't really give anything like a middle indicator for elevation. Well, actually, probably elevation is mostly covered, but nothing right in the middle you normally would see. Like even just a prong sticking up to give you the left and right you need. I suppose it works, though. Okay, so we've gotten one thing at least. Maybe we'll stick around for a little bit longer because we are just around the 20-minute mark for the recording. And I'll probably have a little bit of stuff to trim out, just as like the black screens between loading and probably the start and end. Yeah, I thought I'd give it a go and see. More than likely, Kentrosaur's going to come along and ruin that what we just got. But I didn't change any of the point rewards from the animals that they will give. Like, each animal still gives the same amount of points it always did. It's just that I changed the costs and values for how much it took to try out the other weapons and the maps and the roster. I just felt like it needed something to be brought a little closer together so that way progress does feel like it's always being made, even if it's just like little steps here and there. Before, it felt so much like you would really grind just to get the next thing up. And I do have the 1 point value I may go back and change and bring down to... I think I wanted it 200 something. Because I think it was... The previous one was 150, so I wanted it maybe 225, I think. But I do feel like they gated some of the best stuff off with a lot of grinding. Like this map, oh, you guys. The developer hit it out of the park with this beauty. Oh, they did get a reply. Oh, it's just the Dryosaur. I hear the Kentrosaur somewhere. I think it's up over this way. We'll try getting him in and then probably end the hunt. And the reason I want to go after the Kentrosaur is just because probably won't be the easiest to get in, and we don't have to worry about exactly running away. It's going to run at us. I mean, it's problematic in its own right that it'll come charging at us, but we do still have plenty of ammo in this sucker to go at it with. Oh, okay, he's somewhere up there. And actually closing the distance incredibly quickly when you consider things. Like, he's traveling 10 feet in a matter of seconds, so I do feel like the range is a little weird with the game at times, but all in all, I suppose... Oh, there he is. Not too bad, just a little under a ton. Ooh. Let him get a little too close for comfort. But I think we'll end things off there and return to the menu, because really enjoyed going to Falls, Australia. Yeah, so we're back in the hunt menu. Again, even from that, we didn't get that many points. So one thing, I'll probably leave this screen here for a moment, just so in case you guys are thinking, maybe I wonder how that would feel to try it myself and how it goes. So these are the point values for the islands here, 5, 10, 25, 50. The 125 I'd probably actually put to 225 just to have a nice kind of jump between those ones. The animals kind of kept a small point gap and then increased it more to the last few, which I think is a little more fitting. And definitely brought the weapons here into line a bit more. Still have to get a rather large amount for any of the lower ones, but again, it just kind of feels like it balances and makes it a little more fun to curve up that way. So I'll have to see, depending on your feedback on last week's episode, maybe even this one, JPR may be sticking around with these new values, because it feels like a more, I want to say, natural curve. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a super long slope to get up to the next thing. We can kind of slowly go at it and achieve it in time. Like, we take all the animals off and we could, say, go after one Allosaurus and something, so I think it's a rather okay little go-up for things. It may take its time, and there might be slow grinding still to come, but I have to say, this feels a little bit more natural to me. There's still going to be a little bit of a grind and push to slowly go through, but it just kind of feels like options are a little easier to access now. But if you did like the series and have an opinion on the points, whether I'm a damn dirty cheater and you're going to insult me, or you actually like the idea of changing the curve a little bit to make it a little smoother, let me know down in the comments. I'm always hoping for feedback, hopefully constructive, complimentary, and I will even take insults at this point. We're just trying to build ourselves up here on YouTube. But until I see you all in the next episode of Survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.